Sherix Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change.
Hello, me famudem una kabo. Welcome to Sherix Broadcast Network, the place where we bring Sierra Leone alive to whosoever you day around the globe. Today we want to take this special moment for talk on some of the current events that we see it unfold in the country, Sierra Leone. And so since we don't get elections in the country, plenty things that don't unfold in the country, and we want to talk on some of them, the stuff that day to day. Because we don't see that with the availability of social media, including WhatsApp and Facebook, people then, the founders of them social media outlets, them, the reason we then create the social media platforms, then it look like say either out of ignorance or out of impunity. People then they abuse them in some sense, and so we want to see what could be the repercussion of the abuse of social media, you know, especially in our situation, in our very precarious situation in Sierra Leone. And so today we feel say it necessary for talk to you about some of the things that we don't see say a kind of a little dangerous, because you know then talk say when you extend your right too far, it becomes your wrong. And so we are hoping that people are not actually trying to extend their rights too far, which will eventually become their wrongs. And so today we want to start for talk to you about the current government of Sierra Leone, headed by His Excellency President Julius Maada, retired Brigadier-General for that matter. We want to talk about plenty things that the way the government don't do, where it look like say, you know, other people than we they probably in opposition, then they try for make the government and the president and the government look bad. Let's say this government who don't get not only do anything good for the country since the elections. And so, you know, we don't decide say, as Sierra Leoneans, we cannot sit by and allow other Sierra Leoneans, them especially them one the way with a very specific intentions, then they try for distort information, then they try for misinform with people them, then they try for plunge with country once again into a catastrophe. May the Lord forbid. We cannot sit by and allow that. Now, from everything we don't gather from social media, the audios then where they make, the videos then where they make, the lies then where they lie, fictitious information where they float around. That don't tell we say we have been exonerated and we have been verified and justified before and during the election. We've been telling us say there is a big difference between the two predominant political parties that we done the rules Sierra Leone since independence. And those political parties happen to be the All People's Congress, APC, and the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP. There are fundamental differences between the two. By these actions, what would they see? Since after election, the way they identify themselves as either members or supporters of the APC, and even the one that were in position of authority within the APC, the executive, the hierarchy within the APC, by the exhibition of their own behaviors, they don't do for justify, say, they don't prove we right, for say we were right, what we talk say, anytime we APC take over the reins of governance in Sierra Leone, then they create problems then they plunge the country into problems. And that anytime the SLPP take over the reins of governance, they do nothing but solve problems in the country. All right? So let we understand, we don't want to go as far back as 1961. But let's just understand for say, in 2007, when we country we get forget election as Sierra Leone, and talk camp for say na APC be win election, even though plenty people in they will be there inside the SLPP way being feel say that election the way Christiana top being preside over the election, malpractices then be there were evidences of a lot of election malpractices and manipulations. But by then, the opposition Sierra Leone People's Party decided that for the sake of peace, for the sake of political stability in the country, let us not create any problem. Let us allow these people to take over the reins of governance. That's the APC. So man be vexed party Yankaba, where he hand over the power to Ernest Bai Koroma at that time. Since the SLPP handed that power over to Ernest Bai Koroma, the SLPP then go back into their shells, then go sit on Safu, the one they within a parliament, they do it, then they do. In fact, plenty of people that they blame, they say, they not be they even do their work. They were not a formidable opposition. And so SLPP been quiet throughout for 10 years, not to 10 weeks, not to 10 months, 10 consecutive years, SLPP sat down quietly, no confusion in the country. All right? This is the fact. Now, would they tell una these stories not because una don't know the stories, una already know the stories, but it is good for us to remind people that it remind people about some of these things where they don't happen at the country, and because Sierra Leoneans we can easily forget. So it's always good for us to remind each other. And the other thing also that is important to know here is, it look like saying, I don't know if now because the APC as a political party was formed by Sheikh Stephen by his own admiration for governments that will be they either run on socialist ideas or will be they run on communism. Countries like Cuba, countries like Russia, countries like China, now on the political system, then political ideas, now based on their ideas, then they wish Sheikh Stephen be formed the APC. So the APC, a political party, will not understand how to operate within a democratic system. Because socialist system and communist system, it's a lot of dictatorship, a lot of autonomy, in the hands of the few people that way they are at the top of the party. Now then they take decisions, now then they control people's lives, now then anything where they decide at that top level, they trickle down to everybody. So this is what the APC is known for. And, we want to emphasize that there are very good people in the APC as well. Very good, highly educated, well experienced, people that we mean well for the APC. They are there in the party. But we want you to know that where Sheikh Stephen be they form this political party, these were the ideas where they been get for admire. Now based on the ideas they formed this party. So up to today, this party does not know how to operate within a democratic system. All right? Because if APC, they know how to operate within a democratic system, starting from Ernest Bai Koroma, coming down to the last member in that party. After this election, wherein the National Electoral Commission, headed by the Chief Returning Officer, Mr. Mohammed Infa Ali Conte, who was properly protected and guided by the Constitution of Sierra Leone and the Public Elections Act, of our country. We don't go through that election. The first election, nobody know able to get 55%. So that forced us to go into the runoff election. We went into that runoff election, and at the end of it all, SLPP and Maada emerged as the winners in that election. Just like way APC being emerged as winner in the 2007 election. When that's been happened, SLPP go back into opposition. But the APC has consistently demonstrated that they are refusing to accept defeat. They are refusing to allow this new government to go into full operation by creating havoc around. Either then get surrogates and whether they send for disturb the fragile peace that we have in our country. Some are even threatening to burn down government buildings in Sierra Leone, for asking people to commit arson. Some are threatening war. But you see, that side about war, I don't even want to talk about it. Because if people then craze, then probably it go necessary for us to teach them that those archaic days when somebody can just sit down in a corner and decide say they go wage war in a country, a wage war, a kill people them, a burn people them, host them, cut people them and them, and a grab go scot-free, those days are far gone. At this present time, anybody where you believe yourself, where you feel say your only solution to a country's problem or something where you they call as problem, the only solution to that problem now by igniting war, by plunging our country into another mayhem. Must know say you not go scot-free. Just go ask you Fambo Chastel or may tell you say sit down right now. Okay? So I don't want for go that side. I just want for see that person will go get the guts, we will get the mind for organize a civil war in Sierra Leone. Any type of war, even mediocre violence, just organize it and see what will happen to you. So we don't want to talk about that. But me family them. So our democracy since after the Civil War has been going on fine. But since the APC don't go into opposition, they have consistently demonstrated that they don't want peace to reign in our country. And they don't forget say, this country does not belong to only the APC. The country Sierra Leone is made up of 7+ million people. APC not just a speck of that population. So this country does not belong to you guys. So anything we want to try for doing Sierra Leone, we have to make sure say there are other people who are equally owning that country. They are part of the country. They were born in the country. Now we all depend on them. So we're not going to let Sidom, you bring Alaki Kam na Sierra Leone anymore. We cannot allow that. It's impossible. So, everywhere. The first things we don't see where plenty of them they complain about. Oh, Maada they pull people in our positions, inside jobs, they put in your man inside jobs. Now, only somebody way very archaic, somebody way very shallow in mind, somebody way not understand how government they operate in this very civilized world, now Ingo maintain a sentiment, a rhetoric like that. Because everywhere in the world, when people that don't go into elections, where election don't take place, the possible way they emerge as a winner. Now in your man them they bring camp together for me them work with them because now them it trust, now them be done the work with, now them it believe say then go able for do the work right as far as in your agenda concern. Now I make when Barack Obama win United States. In your man they will campaign with her throughout the campaign. Now they bring on board. when Donald Trump win America, himself na you man and he bring him on board. Plenty people then they way then sack come out inside the job then put the young man in there. You know, nobody they talk about that. First of all, if you have been somebody where they openly criticize the president at the time we're in a candidate where they campaign, you they criticize them, you they campaign against them, you they against in your own candidacy, why you feel say this man for trust you for let you work for him? Why? You really feel say the man stupid that it go allow you for me stay in another position there for work with him? Like that's what I don't understand. So me fam with them, all these things, all this talk where they talk about, oh Maada don't pull people in a position, they should understand that now so it happen at every country on this face of the earth. Anybody will win election and your mandate they bring come. So we not forget about that talk the first. Okay? Don't forget about that talk. That is not justifiable, it's not verifiable, it don't make no sense, it don't get substance. So that is done. We are done with that. We have to move forward. Now, you know, how government they operate is another thing where we don't see say, then people are not understand how government they operate, right? They don't understand, you know, for say, in a democracy, now government way they operate with three arms. We get the legislature, we get the executive, and we get the judiciary, right? Then three entities, and then they operate. And in a democracy, you know, where would they go na polls? When we talk about democracy, not only where would they go na polls, we vote for people that for go na state house or parliament. That is not the end of democracy. According to the Information and Communications Minister in Sierra Leone, Mohamed Rahman Suare, he don't talk plenty for say, democracy is also democratic accountability. He don't talk plenty side. What that means is, we don't vote for we leaders and don't go in a position of authority. The next thing they should do is anybody where they give you power, where they give you position, you for no say that office will say you sit down not to your office. Now the people of Sierra Leone, now the office that one day. That office belongs to the people of Sierra Leone. It does not belong to you. So now go sit down there, you they do things they fitty fatal like how you want. All right. So the democratic accountability is after where you don't left power, the other person where they can't take over you, it get the right for call you back and ask you questions about how you use the country resources. Right? Now I make every government, where one government they hand over to the other government, you where they come inside, you they set up what you will call a transition team or a government transition. That government transition, what they do, they look at everything where when I don't left give them, and who side then they start for move forward. And it is the responsibility of every government for tell the people then at the country how then they do the work. Because when I just sit on the inside the Sierra Leone constitution, the constitution where they bind on the country, where they guide we as a country. Chapter 2 of that constitution don't talk say, we the people that are the country, now we get government. Now by we own actions, where would they do, including, you know, referendum, voter registration, campaign, election, all the activities that will they engage in. Now by their activities, then they, where they make, we choose people that way they go form government. But the government actually belongs to us, the people. So the one that way they in that position, the way they operate as officials in government, their all responsibility, their all we explanation as to how they do work, the work will give them, how they do them. Now that one they then call accountability. Now they also call transparency. You not get no bend business, you not get no hide. Like plenty time you don't see where the president, retired Brigadier-General Julius Maada build, they go any side, where they see press release, they come up from State House, where they tell we say the president get for go so side, they go meet with so person, then where they did everything what they do, then they summarize and they send it to we, when the president come back, then they tell we. That is transparency right there. Or like when the Minister of Finance, they go any side, go sign for money for on behalf of the country. You know, either a World Bank, IMF, or a country they give you this, then they make you know. That is transparency and accountability. So any side where you day, as a citizen of your country, you are well informed about how your government operates. Now, when I tell me how many times we get reports of that nature from the APC during their 10 years of governance in Sierra Leone. How many times where the honest by chromate we say they go so side and a so thing they go do, they way they report to we say na this I do, where come back a report to we, or if you go sign for money, you know, how would I, you know, how much money would I give we, would I give you the money? How many times did they report that to us? We never had that. All right? So when this government came to power, they came with a determination to move our country forward. They come with that determination for move Salongo before. They not come with determination for do the same old thing, because they say you cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a change. They came with a determination to change things for us, for the positive. So who said it for begin? You we don't left power, which you left Giwi. To marry, I may not talk, say you left $300 billion, where be say you don't left nothing. Tomorrow I may not talk, say where they left another ministry, and so you left. So it is a responsible government's responsibility to tell the people of the country waiting they inherit in governance. So when they form, the president formed the government transition team, it was through that transition investigations where they do for no waiting they left, where they're able for uncover for say there was massive corruption at the country by the APC. Massive corruption, organized corruption, where they reap everything at the country. Pata, they reap everything. And so when they don't get that fact as a transition team, what was the next thing they did? They submitted a report to the president with recommendations. Where they say not to do, they recommended for say, because of everything we don't see, there was massive corruption in this country. The country was almost plunged into a regional conflict or tribal conflict, because the past president, Ernest Bai Kromah, was the most tribalistic, regionalistic and sectionalistic president that we ever had, because of how he distributed the national resources of the country, because of how he ruled, how he ignored certain areas, how he abandoned certain people just because they're not to people that will be supporter. So they recommended a judge-led commission of inquiry. I mean, from the name, Commission of Inquiry, they are going to inquire. Mr. A, when you begin at this position, this is what we saw happen. Tell we how you operate in your office. If you don't do good job, like how plenty people they don't talk, if you don't do good job in your office, why are you against the Commission of Inquiry? Why? You know? And the other thing here is this. The Secretary General of the APC, me not get for call Alajo, because you see, people that they misrepresent Islam, plenty. I'm not going to call Usman Yansane Alaji. I cannot. Because if Usman Yansane, plenty of the things that we don't see in our archives, personally, waiting in don't do for plunge the country into mayhem, including even the civil war we can at the country, including way that they interfere upon people that urge money business. In the day, they see these things, he was unable to say anything. then me they call her Alaji. I know call her because if I do that one, they mean a Muslim, I they commit sin. I will not call him Alaji. Now for the answer, now for the Usman answer. Okay, so in as Secretary General the talk say, the commission of inquiry not go through the right protocols, the right constitutional protocols for it to for it to sit. So because of that, he not go tell in party members therefore may them comply with that commission of inquiry. Oh my God, these people are just, they are killing me. You know, they are just, I mean, I don't understand where these people are coming from. You know? But we know say, before this commission is sit down, the instrument was taken to Parliament. APC put up an opposition in Parliament against the commission, but they not been get the adequate numbers and for outvotes against the sitting of the commission. So it went through the right protocols, it went through the right procedures, and that is why we are going to have it, because then vote, and then one day we say they want to let the commission sit down, that the commission is appropriate, they be outnumbered the one day we be say the commission of sit down. So for the Usman Asana, why are you misinforming our people? Why you they lie? Why are you lying for the Usman Asana? Why you they lie when you and you know say you not Al-Haji? Why are you lying? You know say for go Mecca the last pillar of one of the pillars of Islam, very important pillar of Islam. If you don't go Mecca, why are you lying? Because we don't go to that side and they not for lie anymore. You not for do anything way ungodly. So a bogus talk then they talk. The time don't pass where anybody they fool we. You cannot fool us anymore. You know, can't you learn that this is a modern era? Like this era is not 1960 or 1970s. This is 2019 right now. Okay? So the commission of inquiry is justifiable, it is constitutional, and it's gonna take place. And you know, then people that can just talk because talk sweet. But nobody know the way they fight government. You cannot. Because if government is doing work right, the people that get for stand with the government. And right now, according to all the polls that they go around, the people of Sierra Leone, majority of them stand with this government for everything what they do. So APC, when I get for really look at this and rethink una, because by these actions, it appear like say when they make una political future bleak. You know, that's what APC is doing. Now, let we even again also talk about all the accolades that we His Excellency President Julius Maada be able to get anytime we go abroad. You know if we say them people then they will get their accolades, and then people then they will they hail them. They know they watch, they know they see what they go on at Sierra Leone, they know they see how they operate. You want to tell me say they know they see that? You think they are stupid? You know, when they live in a whole different world, first of all, then people then they, even if they're not kind of your country, they get plenty ways the way they see how you in a country they function. Now make sure why I see that British parliamentary way foolish they talk say, oh, there is political violence, there is intimidation going on. I just laugh. I say, but this man must not be serious. He must be one of those selfish, greedy and selfish British politicians. For you to stand with people and when you know say they are lying. What to make me quarrel not been go salon for let's see what you know, like how incumbent parliamentarians then go see the country and then come back and report na parliament say they not see no political unrest, they not see no political violence, they not see no intimidation. Why instead not been go see what you know, but it rely on fiction, they rely on the lies the way you proceed and the lie for them. Then it get the bold mind, they appear on social media and at a global forum, they talk on behalf of the APC on them kind of foolish stuff. And it's how Julius Maada built since in election, all the decisions where he don't take. First of all, by the fact that for the very first time in more than 30 years, for let story come out from Sierra Leone, a positive story where all man they hail the country, all man they talk about the country. This is the very first time, because some of we who did on their social media like Twitter, who side President Donald Trump, they tweet all the time. Again, millions of people that way they follow him, the one and the way they curse him, the one and the way they with him. These are the forums then where then they make Julius Maada in Sierra Leone as an example of the kind of leadership that we need in Africa. Even in presentation United Nations General Assembly, the presentation he made there, the speech that he gave, talking on behalf of Africa, how then for position of Africa at the UN. Then it became a talking point for the globe. All man they talk about are all over the place. Won't you feel proud as a Sierra Leone if these things are happening? You know? And so, you know, I can feel appalled where I see people like Jibril Bangor. I don't be one for calling my name, because you see, when you call my name, you are dignifying the nonsense way they do. You know? The man is just far removed from reality. The man is focused on negatives. Right? The man they lie with impunity. He is distorting information. And he was foolishly saying, oh, if me don't talk true, then talk say, me go after me. That go don't give me give me a more, you know, even if I don't get paper or that person they don't get paper, they go apply for political asylum. You feel say now all man they give political asylum. Do you know how political asylum works? Have you forgotten about what they call Interpol? You don't forget about cooperation among governments. That if the president of Sierra Leone wants you to be extradited, you can be extradited. Nobody, political asylum, you cannot get political asylum. Have you? If not that one they be happen, they all the one they way they don't extradite them to back to their countries. Therefore, don't just apply for political asylum. But what we are saying here is, when you extend your right too far, it becomes your wrong. Some people in the way they talk say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. When you tell Sierra Leoneans then for me then go burn down CID, it's not freedom of speech. That is incitement. You are telling Sierra Leoneans to commit arson, for set fire upon us. So if you get a kind of record, they pull the video, they play on any side, then you say, they apply for political asylum. Would they give you political asylum? And then can record them. Now God no more been blessed you where the people that not listening to you then go put fire per CID like you should have been back in Sierra Leone right now facing the judges for waiting you talk. Now the people they act on. Go now and apply for political asylum with that kind of record and see if they go take and give you. You know, so sometimes the man they talk foolishly and people that they share this video, like you should not be sharing his video. When you see him video, just you know, discard them, delete them. Because it doesn't make sense. The man they all over social media, they go and talk all kind of talk. I mean, some of us want sanity in our country. The country has gone through so much. I mean, for 24 years, from 1968 to 1992, APC in power. What can you guys show for it? Waiting when I go show that is tangible. For say, we'll be then at this power. This is what we did for Sierra Leone. When a young brother decided to go to the bush against Una. I'm talking about late Fode Sebana Sanko, where he decided for going to bush for go fight against Una. When Robin White, where be the working at BBC Focus on Africa, we asked him on March 23rd, 1991, we asked him on the radio, waiting at the reasons where he give as to why he gonna bush for go fight. He gonna bush for go fight because of what you guys were doing as APC. He say we are corrupt, the country in resources, we no more get them, we not thief man them. When I don't talk, say, who's I tie cow that they eat? The ordinary people that they suffer. These were the reasons that Foday Sankoh gave for starting a war in Sierra Leone. And APC now want to be in power. So what can you show for all the times we don't in power? What you don't do way na something where Sierra Leoneans they go turn around and look at and say, oh, the APC did this for us. If you say Salone people are stupid, you know. So if this government don't come with a determination for able for move with country go before, for the very first time, you don't see a presidential candidate don't talk say, where will not elect me? Now this I go do. Even if you're not able for do them yet. But the mere fact that they don't attempt for doing things then where they talk about during campaign, it is a big step forward because one day happen in our country. During elections, candidates and they can't give boku promises. Whether they don't vote for them, whether they don't come out of office, it's completely something completely different. Case in point, and it's by Kroma, you've been tinap na kono, you did promise the kono people then. You did promise them in 2012 for say, if they vote for you, they build university for them na kono. You did give money to woman then, kono woman then for men and do businesses. You say these things in kono. Where is the university? Where the business money will be say you give them? And the woman will marry na kono woman. So you guys have to give us a break. This commission of inquiry has to go on. And for the Usman Yansane, that you talk about bogus talk. Anybody who is supposed to stand before that commission, they go tinapity. Mark my words. They go tinapity. The time for intimidation and all that bogus man talk the time don't pass. Not to the time there. And let's talk about the free quality education. Because I don't hear plenty side way some Sierra Leoneans then they underrate the whole thing. Like I hear somebody will call himself Adebayo, they talk about how na labo business na like with the free education. Like these people, I mean, like I go on for no who side the intellectual ability stop. Like who side start, who side stop. Because sometimes the talks the way they talk, it don't make no sense. But I not blame them, because you see, remember Jesus be talk that talk there. Me na Muslim, but I know that side. They say forgive them for they do not know what they are doing. Because me not go blame them, because when APC be don't take over governance in Sierra Leone from 1968 to 1992, then kill education, kwata na the country. Then kill education. Now you make honest by Kroma in your secondary school, Magroka Boys High School where you attend, a left family dilapidate. For 10 years, you not get mind making your school in alma mater. You not get mind maker. We be say some of we very proud of the schools they will go. And it's by Kroma not get mind for fixing school. Even as an example for show people and say, we prioritize education. Mikhail Uba, when I be the Minister of Education under the APC, now that same school they go, Magroka Boys High School. They don't get mind make that school. Pass away election, but they can't go all whitewash panel. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, can you take these people seriously? Like what they talk about, and the people that when they behave in this way, can you actually take them seriously? Can you? I mean, if you're not a well-meaning Sierra Leonean, can you take people of this nature seriously? So you see, what we can tell when I say, when it don't come by election, all them sentiments that work again. Oh, this person here now we tried. Oh, this person now all come at the same time. Now all go the same. That sentiment is not important. What's important now your own God, because you see this sense you all get, we get what we call conscious and subconscious thinking abilities. Like when they do anything, you conscience the way they tell you say, do this, then you feel like you had to do it. The other one, then the way they do something, when I subconscious, they tell you say, this is the way you want to do this, not too good to not do it. Right? It tell you say not do it. That is subconscious. They out of every most time 90% of which the subconscious they tell you 9 at the two. Now you for follow. So now make way election they come. We want for do anything pertaining to election. We get for be very careful how they select leaders them. I mean, can you imagine if amigo see APC even on the campaign trail in 2023? That would be so. I'm like, what are they doing here? Why are they even campaigning? What is their message? What are they going to tell the people of Sierra Leone that they're going to do differently? So the free quality education, that now one area that one they made me personally admire Julius Maada bill. I admire and admire because I know the value of education. I mean, look with neighbor, look Ghana right now. I mean, can you imagine 30 years ago, for say Ghana, where they be the tin up na line for toothpaste, for say Ghana go down at this level today? You know? Can you imagine that? But look inside Ghana today. They get satellite inside space right now as I'm talking to you. They get a young global positioning system. A digital address system is what they have in Ghana. Any side where you in Ghana now, then get the security apparatus where they know who say they. You know, look at their healthcare. Look at their everything in their country. Then we shamelessly, we get all these resources more than Ghana. We're not able to do nothing. When we don't elect somebody where it try for fast track development in our country, then we go and talk all kind rubbish. You know? Because you see, what they do, they be take a Maada bill. If you say the man amumu, you know, he talk this, that. Especially when the man go na BBC and when he go make that small blunder. Oh, they say, but this man not supposed to be president. If I wait till the apple for, let us kill her now, let us bring her a debate, let us get a presidential debate. When they go for that presidential debate, Maada was more presidential on that debate more than all the one that will get the PhD there, including Dr. Samora Kamara. If I miss Samora Kamara, and that coach will be when I not be like, because it be too big passer. Oh my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, this government is serious. This government is on course. This government is doing the right thing. Nothing not the way this government is doing shady. Everything what they do is transparent. They are accountable. Then they show we responsible governance. Okay? So we not go left sit down. Anybody there will not mean well for the country. When a person will not want for let this country and move forward. When a lip service they give the country, we not go left sit down. You can plunge your country again into another mayhem. We will not allow that. We are all Leoneans now. We all get this country. We cannot allow that to happen. Good people, then they will come up from Northern Province, then they are Mongola. Good people. Just think about late Temu Bangura. Okay? Temu Bangura, for one thing what he do, when me be young man where I seen in Sierra Leone. Temu Bangura is set a record for tell we say too many people them, not to tribalistic people them. Now the one they will get that inferiority complex. You know? Too many people then are good people then. But the other one and they were in that not we get that inferiority complex. Now then they preach this tribalism, this regionalism, this sectionalism. Now then they promote them kind of thing. But we not go left sit down anybody bring them kind of rubbish in our country. It not go happen. Temu Bangura, because of peace in Sierra Leone and political stability, by the 1996 proportional elections, he decided to side with the SLPP so that the country go unite. Because late Kefa Smart of the UNPP, they ask him for join with us so that they go beat the Mende people. The man not be based on Mende or Timi. He based it on national stability. Charles Maga with all in Boto Batawe he gets. Inside 2007, PMDC, he decided to side with the APC for less stability go in the country. Even inside 1967, when SLPP and APC be type at that election. Now been 2 mandate chiefs and then pass over to the APC. Now make Shaka Stephen be win. When I be Kutubu, Kaisaba and Ellen Brewer. Now then pass on the inside. So Sierra Leone not a country where tribalistic, and we're not going to allow any retrogressive minds, retrogressive Sierra Leoneans to hold us back. This is the time for us to move forward. This is the time for the country to make progress. This is the time for us to prosper. We cannot allow any Sierra Leonean to plunge our country into mayhem again. It's not going to happen. So you where they talk, say, may them go start war, may them go burn hosts, may them go make that mistake and do it. You go see who side you come out. I like you then at the last end of this world, we will go pull you commodity. Go fight for your political asylum. We then can record it. We have your videos. All the videos the way they make, we get all. Where they incite people into violence, they incite people for commit arson. Let them commit arson there and let us see who side you go there. You feel saying all man they give political asylum? You know, the people are just stupid. Some people. You know, some man and they, you know, this social media we don't care where all man they taking for begin talk. But some of you guys just need to shut up. Like you don't need for open your mouth for talk nothing because you don't know nothing, you don't know what they talk about. You don't know nothing about government. You don't know how government operates. You don't know what's in a democracy. You don't know nothing. So why are you opening your mouth to say anything? You know, for talk nothing. You know? So me family them inside this new year, this is not just me quick talk. I want for talk to una today at Sherix Broadcast Network. I want for tell una plenty thank you for, you know, for everything we wanna do. Una they watch what you with the show and everything. I want for tell una plenty thank you for that. All right? So let us not allow anybody for intimidate we, for perpetrate violence at us, for misinform we. Now, we are not going to say, right now, we'll not say any other time, but this particular time, the way President Julius Maada they operate, we no one day get that kind of president operate in our country. And we like him, we appreciate him, and we approve of his governance system or governance style. All right? All the other one day, that commission of inquiry get for Sidon, you will be done the serve with people, then you are going to be compelled to appear before that commission day. That's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Sherix Broadcast Network. Straight talk for change.